So Dean, today we were fishing smallmouth bass with, it looks like a drop shot rig. Tell me a little bit of how you rig this for Lake Havasu smallmouth bass.
Yeah, you can never go wrong with a drop shot. In all parts of the whole Western United States and the country for that matter, it's a great technique. It's very simple. It's not really hard to work. You really don't have to do anything. You can just drag it behind the boat if you want to. But basically, what you have is you have your hook on top of your weight. So the weight would be down here. This is an Epic tungsten here. It's a Gamakatsu hook. This is almost like a circle hook, like a saltwater hook, but you rig it wacky style, as you can see, where we have drove the hook into the middle of the worm. That way, when you're shaking it, it makes a lot of commotion in the water. It looks like, and it drags a lot slower. As you pick this up on the bottom, as you can see, the worm dances a lot, gets the fish's attention, and they just come by and grab it. Now, a lot of times you don't feel the bite; it just gets heavy, and then you'll feel it on there, and then it's just a matter of just kind of lazy setting the hook into it, because these hooks are designed not really to set the hook, but to just keep winding and keep steady pressure on it, and it'll drive the hook in.
Much like a circle hook.
Correct.
Yeah.
Correct.
So what kind of knot are we tying the hook on there? Tell me what the kind of knot you use.
So the knot that I prefer is a Palomar knot, and it's something I use on everything that I use, even on tour. With the exception of my frog, I do a double Palomar, which is because I need the extra strength. But for everything else, I just tie a regular Palomar knot, and this is on 7-pound fluorocarbon Sunline FC Sniper. And you know, the spinning rod you can use a 7.2. This happens to be a 6.9 ducket fishing rod with a Daiwa exist on the reel, and just a great light presentation, light on everything, lightweight, light hook, light wind, and so you have everything you hear for a good battle when you hook it to a smallmouth.
Yeah, and they do get big here, that's for sure. So our weight's about 14 to 18 inches or 14 to 16 inches below the hook?
Yes, and that could all vary. If you're fishing grass, obviously you want to sit up a little bit higher, because you want the worm on top of the grass and not bearing down in the grass. So, but right now we don't have a lot of grass in the lake right now because we're still in springtime, but we will later on in the year. But anything from a foot to 15, 17 inches like you see here is ideal for drop shotting here on Lake Havasu.
And what kind of worm are we using here? Is this your custom secret worm that we're using?
This is basically a hand-poured worm, which is very popular here on the West Coast. Is what I was brought up on. But there's a lot of things that you can use for that. You can put little crawls on there. You can put little grubs, you know, little reapers. I mean, there's so many different things. That's the beauty of a drop shot, is whatever you want to put on there and what kind of action, whatever the fish want, you know, gives you that option to catch it.
Would a robo worm work well on this rig?
A robo worm would work excellent on this. You know, they make a great product. There's a lot of hand-poured manufacturers that are out there that do a good job, and injection molds. You know, it doesn't necessarily have to be hand-poured. A lot of the injection molds, Big Bite makes a lot of finesse worms that I use as well on a drop shot, and it works great.
Excellent. Well, thanks so much, Dean. Appreciate your insight and showing us how to catch the smallmouth bass here on Lake Havasu.
Thank you very much. It's been a joy having you guys in the boat today.